All right, guys, welcome to another installment of Legacy Speaks. As you may know, we typically do our Instagram lives via Instagram, but this is just an amazing person that I really wanted to connect and collab with. I've collabed with him previously before. This is the wonderful Dr. Alvin Sutherland Jr., and he is the owner and founder of the Sutherland Center LLC here right in Atlanta. Dr. Sutherland is all about family, all things family, generational health, generational wealth. And I just wanted to be able to have this conversation about Black fatherhood. So, Dr. Sutherland, welcome.
Thank you, Sierra. It's always a pleasure to get to hang out with you and talk with you. Always a pleasure. And I'm continuing prosperity for Legacy Speaks. And you definitely are creating a legacy. Thank you again.
Thank you. So Dr. Sutherland, the reason why we're having this conversation is because, as you may know, June is Men's Health Month, along with all the other months like Pride Month and PTSD Awareness Month. But tonight we're going to talk about men's health. As of recently, we've had the opportunity to witness so many things happen right in front of us. We're literally living in history, watching history happen, particularly when it comes to social injustices. And I think the beautiful thing about this overall experience is it's forcing us to redefine what wellness is, especially as a community. And there have been a number of trends that have come about in this era, especially focusing on Black fatherhood and what fatherhood looks like, how it has started, the concepts that surround it, all of the lessons that we have learned and experienced and continue to pass down from generation to generation. And I specifically wanted to talk to you because family systems is your jam. That is primarily what the Sutherland Center is all about. And so I wanted to get an opportunity to be able to get some insight on what it's like for you as a male counselor of color and somebody who just really is advancing the mission of healing, especially when it comes to men's vulnerability.
Cool. I'm going to come back in a moment and I'm going to clarify something about male. We hear a lot of people talking about they're looking for a Black male counselor, Black male. And we're going to correct that whole language real quick. And I'm going to come back to it.
Cool.
And I'm going to talk about it. But we want to make sure we correct and use the right language for that. Well, like Sierra said, I'm Dr. Alvin Sutherland Jr., the owner of the Sutherland Center. I am a father of 3 and a pawpaw to 1. Fatherhood is what I enjoy. Love spending time with my family. We know there's 168 hours in a week. And I make sure that I give my adequate time, the quality time to my family, because we know that love equals time and time equals love. And one of the best things you could ever do for your family is to be there for your family. One of the foundational phrases for my company is strengthening the foundation for the family. Or if you've seen the Counseling Brothers of Atlanta video, it's strengthening the foundation for the family. And in my household, when you're thinking about the foundation, if you're building a house or a home, you have a foundation, you have the 4 corners of the 4 pillars, and you have the middle part of the home as well. And if your foundation is weak, your home is going to crumble eventually, you're going to cracks. So in my family, one of the foundational pieces for our household, and I make sure with my supervisees and in my workshop and anyone I get a chance to mentor or speak to, everything that we share with our clientele, you should be doing in your household. And if you're one of my supervisees, I strongly recommend and encourage that all the techniques, intervention strategies that you're doing with your clientele, you should be doing in your home. And in our household, strengthening the foundation of our family, one of those is your presence is a present. You know, a lot of families get caught up in buying gifts for Christmas, birthdays, anniversaries. All those things are wonderful. And one of the things that I learned that children will grow up and from pre-K to high school, 12th grade, and they'll have more presents than their family has saved for college. They have like 100 or so plus toys, the latest iPhone, the latest PlayStation, Xbox. The kids have 100 and plus toys, and they have $0 saved for college. In our household, your presence is a present. So typically what we do during the holiday time is my wife and I will do a family presence gift together with the family. Like we'll take a trip, or we'll go ice skating, or we'll go canoeing, or whatever it is we want to do, a presence together. We'll do something together as a family. And then I'll take my daughter and we'll go do something together. And my wife and my son will go do something together. Then we'll switch. Me and my son go do something together. My wife and daughter, because the presence is the most significant present you could ever give to anybody. And we're talking about men's health, and we're talking about fatherhood, and we talk about particularly Black fatherhood. And every father understands that they need to provide for their family. And we have this tendency to want to work. And in my favorite book, when the father had told his son, he said, you know, hey son, this whole land is yours. All this is yours. But the one thing I don't want you to do right now is I don't want you to go to this tree right here. This tree got some stuff on it. I only want you to mess with that tree. But what the son did when he was standing right beside his wife, and a nemesis came and talked to his wife and said to her, hey, you can go do this. And there's this spirit on men of passivity. He stood right there and watched the nemesis talk to his wife and allow her to be enticed and persuaded and charmed out while he stood there. There's a spirit of passivity on men, and we have to find a way to push through and fight through that passivity. And because of our disobedience, the father said, you must till the land. Because before, the land would just naturally grow. It would produce whatever you wanted. It grew, it grew, it grew, it grew, it grew. But because of the son's disobedience to his father, the father said, now you must till the land by the sweat of your brow. And now he had to figure out he had to go to work. And this is where that spirit jumped on men for work. Men, we gonna work. Like my family's from Jamaica. You know, my mom's from Jamaica. You know, senior, who I've never really met. I'm junior, he's senior. He's from Belize, but my mom, know every person I've ever met, they like to work. From Jamaica, they're gonna work, have 25,000 jobs. And the spirit on men is to go to work. And we gonna work. There's 168 hours in the week. And we'll find a way to work 163 of them and then figure out what we're going to do with them other 5. And we work with the men and talk with the men. This is the phrase is save some for home. And we as men, because that spirit of work is on us, the men want to just work. And then he want to come home and he'll say to his family, you know, I done spent, 97 hours at work. I ain't got nothing to give to y'all. He'll just sit down. And the family will be compassionate and say, it's all right, daddy. It's okay, daddy. And the family just let him do it. Her mama said, go on, let him sleep. Y'all leave him alone, let him sleep. And he'll take a nap and rest. Now imagine if he spent 97 plus hours with his family, grinding, having fun. They having water gun battles. They playing cards together. They playing Uno, Bid Whiz. They playing hide and go seek, pillow fight. They having a good time with the family. Dinner at the table. Then he go to his job and say, boss, man, I ain't got nothing to give you, dog. I done spent 97 hours with my family. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. What you think your boss gonna say, Sierra?
Either you get with it or get lost.
He ain't gonna show you no compassion.
None.
He gonna kick you out and they gonna replace you real quick. And we're really working with the men, the young boys or young adolescent men who are transitioning to manhood, get them to understand you can always make more money, but you can't make any more time. The two things we spend is time and money. I guarantee you can make more money. You get out there, go grind. If you can't do nothing but go sweep, you clean the toilet, you make your money, but you can't get back that time. And we're really pushing them to understand the value of time and making sure you're present for your family. So in our household, strengthening the foundation for the family, one of those foundational components is your presence is a present. And giving your time, like I'm giving time because I trust you and I value what you do and the work that you do, Sierra. So I'm cool with giving you time. I don't have any problem with that. I ain't gonna give it to everybody else now. because my time is valuable. After a while, they're gonna have to compensate me for my time.
Yeah.
But it's super important to help families and fathers understand how valuable their presence is, and working with the families and identifying what is the foundation of your family. What are the values, the morals, beliefs, the philosophy about fatherhood, about family that you want your kids to know? And you begin to speak it into them, pour it into them through repetition. It ain't one time. And you're teaching them what you expect them to learn. And that's a part of the beginning of the process a little bit. I don't want to just go, because I got a whole bunch I can say now.
Okay.
Kids to kind of interject, just understanding the strengthening the foundation of the family. And one of those in my household is your presence is the present.
I think that's very beautiful and such a profound statement within itself, because, you know, the statement of the present is a gift, right? And so being fully present in the moment and being fully aware of you just being there, simply being there, is very, very important. I know oftentimes when I'm explaining social support to individuals, I let them know that there's two types of social support. So we have, you know, instrumental, and we also have emotional. And I find, or what I see and have even experienced, I find that fathers tend to lean more on the instrumental support. Do you need me to do something? What you need? You need me to give you some money? You need me to change the oil? You need me to, you know, make sure that this dishwasher is A-okay? All right, you need me in the fell clutch? All right, cool, I got you. But when it comes to these emotions, I'm gonna need you to go to your mama real quick, you know? And so I find that now fathers are taking a step back and they're reevaluating what emotions look like, what feelings look like, and they're slowly incorporating that in the mission of the home. I know as an entrepreneur, you know, like when we're turning in our documents for our business, we have, you know, our vision, our mission. And my hope is that fathers, or just families in general, start creating visions and missions for their families, and having that vision and learning how to work backwards to see how we can start implementing and infusing that mindset on a day-to-day basis.
True. I like that. It's a good point. And helping them remembering that the moments together create memories forever. And we're getting them to understand you got to have these moments together in order to create memories. And because a lot of time we thinking about trauma and the body remembers what the mind struggles to forget. You can create new memories. If you remember when you were little, your third grade teacher told you talk too flipping much, and you remember that, but you can create a whole new set of memories with your family that they will, shoot, when they get 25, 45, 50 years old, they were like, hey, you remember that time that we went for Christmas time? We all went to Andretti's and we rode go-karts together. We had a battle, we were racing. They remember in the time. You create those moments to create those memories that's going to last a long time. And you were saying something that made me want to backtrack to when you said they're looking for a Black male counselor. Now, there are three hoods. You ever heard of the three hoods?
No, but go ahead and explain it for the people, please.
Okay, there are three hoods, and I ain't create all this. I mean, I read 100 million books, and I got it from somewhere in the world. But there's typically three hoods. We have what we call malehood, and that's the anatomy. When your parents were pregnant, like, you know, do a gender reveal party as a male or female. But when men were born, they found out they were male. The doctor looked, oh, the ultrasound, and see a little wee thing. Okay, they're male. That's malehood. And then you begin to transition to boyhood. And there is no age limit on when you transition from boyhood to manhood, but just some of the characteristics or the profile of someone in boyhood. A boy in boyhood, someone else is responsible for you. Typically your mom, your dad, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles, your coaches, or your mentor, or someone who adopted you. Someone else is responsible for you. And then you transition into manhood, and the primary component of that is you are responsible for someone else. You're taking care of your wife and your family. You're looking out for them. You're the overseer of them. And a lot of times, some of the young men, I've had men who 45 years old who are still stuck in the boyhood phase, or we can call it extended adolescence. And we know adolescence simply means adults with less sense. And in boyhood, you'll see guys who have a family of 3 or 4, and they still driving a 2-door car. They got their sport, but you got a family. They got to squeeze into a 2-door. That's boyhood mentality. And then you have young men who are on social media and they're posting themselves in their underwear, smoking weed, burning one, smoke one, food, fired up. They're still doing that. That's still boyhood mentality. They haven't reached maturity yet to transition. Now the path to manhood or fatherhood, since we're talking about fatherhood, is a lifelong journey, and mastery is simply staying the path. We have a lot of young men who kind of get discouraged and they'll give up. They'll just start burning, drinking, they even contemplating, get sad and depressed, contemplating suicide. But one thing that helps the transition from boyhood to manhood is an elder. Or, people will talk about having to standing on the shoulders of giants, and a giant, to stand on the shoulders of giants is someone who can elevate you and your family to new heights. Or what's your Sierra song? Level up. But if you don't have a mentor, or you don't have an elder who you can stand on to elevate you, then it's gonna be a slower transition to it. And then eventually, when you do get to manhood, you should be able to reach back and pull some other guys and be a mentor to them. In Japan, they have this thing called the senpai and kohai relationship. The senpai is a senior to a kohai who's a junior. It's basically someone is like a mentor or an elder to pull you along, to help you as you transition from boyhood to manhood, where you are responsible for other people. Because in boyhood, you're still a consumer. You're eating up everything. As when you get to manhood, you're a producer, you're creating, you're elevating the masses of people, and you're elevating your family. You're spending time at the table where you're divvying out the direction, because the family will gather together. The father of the household will delegate how the family's supposed to go, and then they'll scatter into the community, into the schools, into the workplace. But if they don't have that time together, because we at work all the time, there's no way for the information that needs to go out. And they need those elders, those mentors. And I would encourage any and every man who watches this at some point, if you don't have a mentor, seek a mentor, an elder. If you ain't got one, you can reach out to them. The Counseling Brothers of Atlanta, it started because I was beginning mentoring 3 other young men. And then it kind of grew to, I think it's like 43 other guys now. And we are mentoring and sharing and helping each other grow. That's my responsibility. I've had some people in the past, and I'm going to make sure I give back to those brothers, whether it's calling them when they're going through a rough time, they had someone pass, I call and reach out to them. They need to reach out to me. I'm available for them. And that group, the Council of Brothers of Atlanta, my responsibility is to be an encourager and mentor to them. That's how I want to see what I do. And in turn, that they'll do the same for their family as well. Those are the 3 hoods, though. I wanted you to know about them 3 hoods. So we don't want no black male counselor. We want a black man who's a therapist, or a black man counselor. We want to throw that man in it, because I'm trying to tell all the guys, we ain't males no more. We transition from that.
I love it. And then even when you were talking about it, obviously, I was thinking about just the tribe mentality. Because, I work in the substance abuse population, or just a substance abuse domain. And oftentimes I come across clients who don't have the wherewithal, or weren't able to even witness that type of manhood displayed before them growing up. And so oftentimes it's difficult for them to kind of conceptualize what that looks like for them. And even in sobriety, right? Trying to pursue recovery, we always let them know, hey, find a sponsor within the first 2 weeks of you being in treatment. You don't have to do this thing alone. I think oftentimes there's this misconception amongst men, or just people of color in general, like we have to do everything alone and by ourselves. And even in the midst of that, fighting past the pride, fighting past the guilt and shame, fighting past the belief that our problems are too much of a burden for somebody else, so I don't want to bring somebody else down. And so for anybody who is watching this, I really do hope and pray that you actually do reach out to Dr. Sutherland, as well as the organization Counseling Brothers of Atlanta, because they're doing amazing things. Even if you're not in the city of Atlanta, I highly recommend that you definitely reach out and potentially find ways to create those circles and those communities within your area. especially during this time where we need to be uplifting one another and creating those safe spaces for one another. So thank you for shouting now. I was going to get to that. But I think it's very important for us to create spaces. If we can't find them, then create them for our own.
I taught at Argosy for about 7 years in their master's program. And I made most of those students that I connected with, they still reach out. Some of them came back for supervision. But I would say that would be your initial start, or even the place that you did your practical internship experience. And as you're seeking your clinical supervisor, those are definitely the people who are your senpai to your kohai, who can kind of guide you throughout the process. And definitely reach out. I'm always available as well. I do what I can to support you and build you. If I'm not able to, I'll definitely reach out and connect you to some other brothers as well. And just reminding you, the path to manhood is a lifelong journey, and mastery just simply just stay in the path, just stay the path. And we don't want to stop or quit. We just got to keep moving forward because it's going to work out in your favor.
Definitely. Dr. Sutherland, please let the people know where they can find you.
The best way to get me is on my website, thesutherlandcenter.com. That's the best way to catch me. You can Google me. I'm Googleable too. It'll all come up. And social media, it's DRALJRTSC, which stands for the Sutherland Center.
Awesome sauce. And if you are in the Metro Atlanta area looking for services, please check out his website. If you are an individual within the counseling profession and you're looking for ethics training as well, he has Struggle No More training. So, and you hold it every other month, right? Or every quarter?
Right now I'm just doing it twice a year. One at June and the next one is September 19th.
Yes, so if you are in the area, and matter of fact, if you need training in general, even travel, the last one that we were at, you had individuals from the Carolinas travel. So that's how amazing it is, y'all. So definitely slide and register for his September training that's coming up. I have tagged him in everything, and you can also see him in the description box below if you are going to view this on YouTube as well. So thank you so much.
And don't forget, you can get you an I Am Remarkable t-shirt. We got hoodies. Oh, y'all don't even know the phrase. Let me do the phrase for you.
Go ahead.
Go like this. I refuse to be average because anybody can do that. Instead, I choose to be remarkable. I take on the mindset of the extraordinary. And so I am remarkable. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you average, because you are remarkable. Everybody needs a great I am. Comes in blue and black t-shirts and hoodies. And we even coming with the hat next. I am remarkable.
Yes. Y'all, he has it in dry fit, okay? I should be your publicist. He has it in dry fit, and the hats, y'all, you know, it's summertime, so protect your face, okay? I know we're like Black Boy Joy and Melanin Magic right now, but Black people get burnt too, so please protect yourself with a hat. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Sutherland. I really do appreciate it.
Always. You enjoy the time, girl. Just always enjoy the time getting to talk to you. Looking forward to the next event.
Yes, I'm excited.
Cool.
All right.
Ocean.